Hi there. What if I told you that you can improve your culture? Yeah, you could improve your culture without any of those complicated algorithms and strategic plans. That all it takes is one simple act. Today on Coffee and Conversations about Nurse Bullying, we're going to talk to someone who improved her culture through a simple technique that she's going to share with all of us today. Hi there. Welcome to Coffee and Conversations about Nurse Bullying. My name is Dr. Renee Thompson, and I am the CEO and founder of the Healthy Workforce Institute. And today you are in for a special treat. We have a very important guest on our show, Kathy Neiswanger, who shared with me a few years ago a story about how she and a group of her colleagues were able to actually transform their department by encouraging people to be kind to each other. So I'm so excited to have Kathy on our show. Kathy, welcome to Coffee and Conversations about Nurse Bullying. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm a late blooming pediatric night shift nurse. I did not become a nurse until I was 57.
Wow.
I've been a nurse for about 6 years now. And love it. Pediatrics especially. I work for the Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital for rehabilitation.
Wow, I had no idea that you've only been a nurse for 6 years. That's amazing. And that at the age of 57, you decided to go back to school.
Yes.
To become a nurse. Wow.
Yes.
We all know this. It doesn't matter. You're 18, 20, 60. We welcome all nurses as long as you treat each other with respect, okay?
Yes, and then I had an experience in my education that was less than optimum. I had some bullying in the education process, and that's what's really spurred me on to do something about it.
Well, thank you for that. I always say, we need more and more nurses who are committed to ending, nurses eat their young, bullying and incivility in healthcare. And so just thrilled to have you on this path too. And it was funny, Kathy and I met each other at the Magnet Conference a few years ago. And Kathy's been a part of our community for a long time, but we actually were able to meet face to face when we were at the Magnet Conference, and she shared with me this initiative that really encouraged random acts of kindness in their organization. And I knew that I wanted to share her story, and it did take a while, but I'm glad we have the opportunity to hear about what they did in their organization. So Kathy, if you want to maybe share a little bit about what started this. Like, I always like to think in terms of what prompted this initiative to spread kindness.
Well, like many workforces, things can devolve into negativity, and some people more so than others. Mm-hmm. And actually a colleague of mine who I was hurting a bit for, because she just always seemed to be negative and trying to bring things down. And here I am, the antithesis of that, trying to bring things up. She actually came to me and realized that she had a problem and knew that she needed to challenge herself to be more kind. And it was actually her idea that we have some type of random acts of kindness. And I loved that. I was so buoyed by what she said, because we had actually done it in the elementary school that I worked in for many, many years. And she said, I don't really know how to go about this. I said, well, that's okay, because I do. So we partnered and developed our little program of random acts of kindness recognition every month for our staff.
Wow. And, listening to you talking about her as one of those chronically negative coworkers, somebody who's always complaining that, if you walk into the break room and they're the only one in there, you're like, oh, you try to leave because, they suck you into the vortex of negativity. But to know that she recognized that in herself and then took action by coming to you and saying, I don't want to basically, I don't want to be like this anymore. Let's do something about it. So I wish everybody would have that sense of awareness and willingness to do something, to take action. So this gives me hope, people. Okay. Gives me hope.
Me too.
Yes, that other people can do the same. Okay. Some people need a little bit more encouragement, but I think it would be really great for the people who are watching if, Kathy, you can give us some, share some of your tactics, your strategies, like the actual details. You say you have a monthly recognition. What are some of the things that you do?
Yes, well, we made some little nomination boxes. I decorated them with kindness quotes and made them into stickers and stuck them all over the little boxes. We made little nomination slips that people, if they caught someone being kind, could jot it down with the person's name, what they caught them doing, and their name and the date, if they remember the date. And we just, we introduced it with an email to let people know, hey, we've got these little nomination boxes. We really want to ramp up the kindness. And it happens randomly all day long. If you catch someone being kind, just jot it down and put it in the nomination box. And then from there, once a month, we do a drawing. We have 3 different units and 2 different boxes. And we will do a drawing from the South Court, North Court box. And then we'll do a drawing from the rehab unit, which is my unit. And then we'll put those 2 drawings into one little box and we'll draw a winner. Now, everybody is recognized, though. I mean, that winner will get a small little something, a gift bag with something useful, something fun, something unexpected, like compression socks, silly pens, pen lights, badge pulls, those types of things, sometimes a $5 gift card to somewhere. And then I take it a step further and I take every single nomination and I type an email, very colorful, with kindness quotes from famous people or not so famous people, and put that into an email that goes globally into the hospital, our little hospital system. And people look for that. If they don't get that email, they're like, what happened to the randomized?
I know. So people love to be recognized. And I think it's really nice too, that you're recognizing somebody across the whole organization. That I always say there's nothing sweeter to a human being than the sound of their name being spoken. And there is another element of seeing their name in print somewhere, especially when it's going to certain people. I think, especially, I know, when I was working at the bedside, there were some leaders in our organization, and there was an educator I remember who I really respected. And anytime I got any kind of recognition I knew was shared with certain people, I was proud of myself. It made me feel, it actually encouraged me to do more, to want to. So, and I'm sure this is what you're finding, the more people are recognized for kindness, the more acts of kindness they will do.
Yes. And our receptionist, our office assistant, took it a step further. I would ask her to put it in our weekly Inner Pulse. And she did that, and also put a link to that email in the Inner Pulse. So there were multiple ways people could get that recognition piece of the whole hospital. And it's been very well received. Kindness begets kindness, and that's what we were hoping. And we also, in our little email, will kind of spotlight what season we're in. Some seasons just feel more duller than others. And so we will actually, say something about, summer heat is heating up. Be a drink of cool water to someone and do something kind today. So we do a little bit of a seasonal theme. We put everybody's names in the email in different colors, bold, so that they stand out. And yes, it's just been a fun thing for us to do as well. And a nurse colleague of mine, actually, last year was a very rough year for me. I lost my sweetheart in May of last year, and my mother in August.
Oh my goodness.
I was off for like 4 or 5 months, just trying to regroup and trying to take care of my broken heart. And Naomi and another nurse colleague, Julie, stepped up and kept it going. And
Wow.
to me, that was a healing balm that they did that.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Because this was so important to you and you weren't there. And it just shows you that this was something that was embraced by everyone. And I think there are two parts to them taking over. One is honoring and respecting you and what you were going through. And that was one way that they could help you, because you were going through something that, quite honestly, a lot of us, we don't know how to help someone who's going through a double tragedy like you went through. But that was something that they could do to honor you and to support you. But then it also tells me that this was something that was already becoming embedded into the culture, and that it was becoming, and this is what we're always trying to create, is a habit. How do you hardwire something like this so it becomes part of the fabric of your department, of your organization? And so it sounds like this was really a double win, honoring you, but then also keeping this habit going. And
Well,
that's, you know,
it was healing to me because it validated how many people value this need for positivity and kindness.
You know, I talk a lot about the negativity bias and how our brains are wired to look for the negative. And boy, have we been wired the last couple of years to look for the negative. However, it takes a conscious effort to put aside the negative and to deliberately engage people in the positives. And people are hungry for this. Wouldn't you agree, Kathy?
I do.
They're hungry.
Yes.
For some positivity. And all it takes is a few people who recognize this and who then take action. Because I always say, you know, getting the strategies, you know, having the knowledge is great, but it's the people who take action. And that's exactly what you did. So any of you who are on the call or on the watching this recording right now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about everything that Kathy shared with you and take one action in your department to actually encourage a culture of kindness. And as you know, now Kathy talked about, there's a lot, you know, the emails and, you know, all the different colors. It doesn't have to even be that complicated. It can just be something simple. And I know myself, when I'm wearing either my Be Kind button or my Be Kind little sticker here, it reminds me to be kind, because honestly, I'm not always as kind as I know I should be. And I also think when I'm wearing, you know, when you're surrounding yourself with be kind messages, like you said, Kathy, the quotes, I think people are just going to have a harder time being mean to other people if they're surrounded by kindness. Okay, it's a nice influence for them. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. And I've always been into literature and prose, and I often will find quotes from like Maya Angelou or the Dalai Lama. And it just I hope strikes a chord that it's a hunger for kindness all across the world, all across cultures. It's something that we need. It's not something we can just put aside. It's something that human beings all need.
Right. Especially now that people are talking so much about burnout and stress and dealing with just the extended pandemic. We need positivity and kindness more than ever before. Not that, you know, we're promoting, oh, it's all puppies and flowers. There's nothing bad in the world. That's not what we're talking about here. It's about using brain science to actually decrease stress, improve culture, because when people feel recognized, when other people recognize the kindness that they've exhibited or are kind towards them, it just really helps deal with all of the stress and the difficulties and the challenges that we're facing. And, you know, I'm all about using kindness as an antidote to badness out there. And Kathy, I can't thank you enough for just agreeing to share your story and what you're doing at the Cleveland Clinic. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, all of you who are watching this, like I said, I have a call to action for you all, and that is to do something in your department that stimulates this culture of kindness. And when you do that, please make sure you type that into the comment section below. And if you want to learn a little bit more about how you can address bad behavior and how you can create a culture of kindness, please hop over to our website, healthyworkforceinstitute.com. @clevelandclinic.com for more resources. So again, thank you, Kathy, so much for being on the show. I'm so grateful for you. And I'm so glad you stopped by my booth a couple of years ago at the Magnet Conference, and just really inspired by what you're doing, you and your colleagues at the Cleveland Clinic.
Thank you. I'm grateful for you too, and the Healthy Work Institute. Thank you.
Thank you. So everyone, until our next conversation, be kind, take care, and stay connected.